What's up, guys? Welcome to Demo with Mo. I'm your host, Monique Simmons. We'll be discussing dating, engaged, and married objectives from a young Christian's perspective. Are you guys ready? Let's dive in. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of Demo with Mo. I am your host, Monique Simmons. Have you ever felt overwhelmed, like you had too much on your plate? Like it was always something and you were just stressed and it was too much for you and it began to impact your relationship or your marriage? Well, today's episode is for you. Remember to follow me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Demo with Mo. Check out our website at www.demowithmo.com. All right, guys, let's dive into today's episode. Hello, guys. Welcome to a new episode of Demo with Mo. I am your host, Monique Simmons. Today, we are going to be talking about how stress impacts a relationship. April is Stress Awareness Month. So I thought it would only be right to start off our first podcast episode in the month of April with talking about what stress is, how stress affects us, how it affects our relationships, and what we can do about it. Stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. In the last few years that we've had with this pandemic and with COVID and the loss of loved ones and health concerns of so many around us, we all have felt some type of stress. So what I want to discuss today is with knowing that either we have stress, we've experienced stress in the past, or there may be something that comes up in our lives that will cause us stress. So we're going to discuss how when we experience stress, how can it in turn affect our partner or our spouse in our relationship? Because something that I've learned being married myself and having a family, when you're going through something, when you're facing something, when something is overwhelming for you, when you feel stressed or you have a lot going on, a lot on your plate, it doesn't only affect you. It affects those closest to you as well. So we're going to talk about the different ways that stress can affect our relationships and what we can do about it. Number one, when you're stressed, the closest person to you usually catches the brunt of it, which is more than likely your spouse or your partner. Two, if you're honest, if you've ever been stressed or feeling overwhelmed about something, usually it's your partner or your spouse that catches it. They catch that bad attitude, they catch that negative tone, they catch that withdrawal or shutting down. However you deal with your stress, your partner or your spouse, because they're the closest people to you, those are the people that you can't really put a mask on for. You can't hide from because they're with you. You spend a lot of time with them. They're around you a lot. So usually they will be the ones that catch the brunt of it. However you're feeling, whether you're stressed about your job and your boss is stressing you out, your boss is not going to catch the brunt of it. You're going to put a smile on, do what you have to do. And then when you get home or you're dealing with your loved ones, those will be the people who will catch the brunt of it. Two, you begin to get bothered, agitated, or even frustrated with things in your relationship that usually wouldn't be that big of a deal. When your spouse forgets to close the kitchen cabinet, any other day you would just close the kitchen cabinet, it wouldn't be an issue. But because you're stressed and you're overwhelmed and you're looking for that release, you're looking to not feel the way that you're feeling, them forgetting to close the kitchen cabinet, it may set you off. It may frustrate you. It may agitate you. You may go off about the kitchen cabinet. And it's really not even about the kitchen cabinet. It's just you're so overwhelmed and you have so much going on that things that usually wouldn't bother you are now bothering you. Three, you get caught up in whatever you're stressed about. That could be finances, work, kids, family problems, issues with health, and your relationship may in turn take the back burner even if that's not your intention. It may not even be your intention to put your partner or your spouse on the back burner. But when you're so focused on everything that's going on in your life, those things that are causing you stress, those things that are causing you to feel overwhelmed, your relationship can in return be put on the back burner. You forget about your partner or your spouse. You forget about their needs and their concerns. So because you're so caught up in what's going on in your day-to-day life, and they take the back burner. 4, you can shut your partner out of your life as a coping mechanism to deal with the stress that you're dealing with. A lot of times when someone is stressed, overwhelmed, they have too much on their plate, they usually shut everyone else out. They feel like they have to figure it out. They got to get it done. It's all or nothing. And instead of allowing people in and letting people in, especially your partner or your spouse, the person that you're supposed to be able to be vulnerable with and open with and honest with and share every part of you, a lot of times people in relationships or just people in general, when they're facing stress, when they're feeling overwhelmed, they close out everyone else. And that's a coping mechanism to deal with what life is throwing at them right now. The different things that they're having to juggle, the different things that are on their plate, they can end up shutting their partner out to be able to deal with the things that are going on in their life. 5, it's a mood killer. It causes a loss of intimacy, which in return affects your sex life. When you're stressed, it's so many ways that stress can affect us. Stress can affect us physically. It can change our libidos. We may not even have the desire to want to have sex. It can crowd our mind and we can't even get in the mood mentally to even desire to have sex. It can even, in the moment where you're connecting with your spouse physically, when you're having sex and in the moment, you could be so caught up with everything that's going on in your life that you're not even having that time to really connect with your spouse, where you're not really taking that moment to connect with your spouse because you're so caught up in all of the things that's going on. And that's a mood killer. Okay, so I've given you the different ways that stress can affect your relationship. Now we're going to discuss, how do we combat these? What can we do instead of responding in these 5 ways that I gave you that it can negatively affect your relationship? But what can I now do to combat those things? 1, identify what's really causing you or your partner stress. Figure it out. You guys know that I'm big on getting to the root of the thing. Don't deal with the surface. Don't deal with the reactions, but find out, get to the root of what's really causing me stress. If I'm dealing with stress at work, what is it about work that's causing me stress? Is it the administration? Is it the supervisor? Am I being micromanaged? Am I having too much put on me that's not in my job description? What is it? Let's get to the root of it. If it's your finances, are you not budgeting? Are you paying out more than what's coming in? Can you not catch up? Have you gotten off track? What's going on with the finances? Why are the finances causing you so much stress? Let's get to the root of the issue and figure out what's causing me or my partner this stress. 2, talk to your partner about it. So when you do have a moment where you get upset or you may take your frustration out on them, your partner is able to extend you grace because they know what's going on with you and they don't have to wonder or take it personal. It's a hard thing when you're in a relationship or marriage and your partner takes out their frustrations, they take out their stress and them feeling overwhelmed, and they take it out on you. And you don't know what's going on. If they're having stress on their job and they haven't talked to you about it, they don't know that you're having stress on your job. If you're worried about you guys' finances and you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't know where the money's going to come from, if you haven't had a conversation with them, they don't know that you're feeling overwhelmed about the finances. All they know is that you're frustrated with them, that you're agitated with them, that you get upset about stuff that you usually wouldn't get upset about. And that's a scary place in a relationship because you're wondering. Now it's in the back of your mind, well, what did I do? Or what did I say? Well, why are they feeling this way? Is something going on? Is something wrong? Do we need to talk to someone? Your partner now has all these thoughts in their mind and they begin to take it personal as if it's something with them. And all along, it could be something that's not even dealing with them at all. Something that's not even has anything to do with the relationship. But if you don't talk to your partner, if you don't talk to your spouse, they don't know. All they see is the reactions. All they see is your response. But we have to get to a place where we're able to be vulnerable. We're able to be open and honest and talk to our partners. 3, create and even schedule times to reconnect with your partner. When you're worried or stressed, a date night may be the last thing on your mind. But if you are intentional and you put it on the calendar, you are prioritizing your relationship and showing your partner, even in the difficult times, that they are important. Yes, I'm stressed. Yes, I'm overwhelmed. Yes, I'm having a hard time right now with all that's going on, but you are still the most important thing in my life. After my relationship with God, you are still the most important. You are still a priority to me. And even having that time to connect with your spouse or your partner, it frees you. It frees your mind off of the stress. It helps you take your thoughts off those things that are going on and allows you to let your brain and your thoughts breathe and have a good time. 4, invite your partner in and allow them to be there for you. Let them know how they can support you during this time. Intimacy can be strengthened during hard times in a relationship. When you let your partner see and hear how you truly feel and who you really are, it takes intimacy to a whole nother level. 5, piggybacking off the previous point, when you let your partner in, it takes the intimacy to a higher level, which causes a great sex life. I know this may sound boring or not as spontaneous as you would want it to be, but in some seasons of life, you may have to schedule or put sex on the calendar, and that's totally okay. Some seasons of life are hard, but you want to make sure that your sex life with your spouse is a priority. You don't want sex to take the back burner because you guys need that time to connect. You need that time to not only connect with intimacy, meaning I'm opening up to you, I'm being vulnerable, I'm showing you who I am, and you're showing me who you are on all levels. But we also want to be able to connect physically with each other. We need to prioritize our sex life because sex is very important in a marriage. The last couple of years, we have all experienced stress in some shape or fashion. But we can take these opportunities to go deeper and grow closer to our partners and not allow stressful times to separate us. I hope the practical things that I've given you today have helped you. If you have more that you would like to add to this list, I would love to hear from you. Feel free to email me at demowithmo@gmail.com. And even on the website, when this episode goes live, when you hear it, you can come on the website and leave a comment about the episode. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your opinions. I would love to hear if you have some more advice or practical tips you would like to add that helps you deal with stress and to keep it from negatively affecting your relationship or marriage. But remember, guys, I love you, but God loves you more. I'll see you next week. Bye. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Follow me on Facebook at Demo with Mo. If you have any questions you would like answered here live on my podcast, email them to me at demowithmo@gmail.com. That's DEMOWITHMO@gmail.com.